My name's Damian Goody. I'm a Trintech Customer Success Manager. I've been in professional services for 7 years prior to being Customer Success Manager. I was also a customer for 18 years of Trintech reconciliation software as well. So long history with Trintech reconciliation software. Glad to be here today.
My name is Jim Catanzarite. I'm the VP of Accounting at Forum Credit Union, and we have been using Trintech's products for about 7 years now.
Well, we recently came to Forum Credit Union and did what we called an ROI presentation to kind of talk to you about the value that you're getting from Frontier, from our Trintech reconciliation product. We sat there with you and we grabbed the metrics from your use, and we're able to calculate for you and quantify for you the actual automation ROI that you were getting from the product. And when we broke it all down, we took all of the elements that were automated within the product, compared them to what time it would take to do those elements manually, and we came up with about 1,700 hours a month of value that Forum is getting from automation within the Trintech reconciliation product. When we kind of described that to you, what was your experience kind of hearing that the first time and then digesting it?
Well, it was vindication for us that what we felt the software was bringing was truly, being quantified to show, yes, it is doing exactly what we expected it to do. From the standpoint of not having to expand our team because of Frontier and Trintech's products, being able to have lack of human error because we're using machine matching, it really showed us, and again, quantified to myself, our leadership, our executive team, that we were getting tremendous value out of the products.
And we talked about not just automation value, which it's easily, we've quantified it by the elements that we've replaced that were in the manual processes, but then we also talked about risk. And that was pretty eye-opening because we were able to take two different components of risk, compliance and regulatory risk, and then also we took the component of transactional error risk, right? And we were able to break that down based on the number of transactions you process through in a month. And we were able to identify from benchmark studies by KPMG and other organizations to be able to quantify into dollars the amount of value that you were able to mitigate by using an automated matching process and automated close process through certification. So what was your experience when we presented to you? Maybe, I think it was $4,500 a month in risk mitigation from the compliance and regulatory side, and I think it was somewhere in the $7,000 range on the transactional error side. What was kind of your experience digesting that as well?
Well, working in a highly regulated environment like a credit union, that's a big deal, and it's tough to quantify. Like you said, we were able to find some numbers to put to it. But I think from the standpoint of not having to deal with audit findings, having, matching at the item level, not the totals level, being able to present really clean reconciliation reports to whatever examiner or auditor walks in the door is a really big deal that, like you said, again, the quantification of it doesn't always come up, but when that risk presents itself, that you could take some pretty hefty hits from that. And then, like you said, from the write-off standpoint, if you're reconciling balance to balance, it's very difficult to find, an outage if you have one, where when you're reconciling at the item level, the system gives you the opportunity to go and really hunt for that and find it using, the myriad of tools that it offers to go do that.
Great. Well, one thing that would, I was a customer and I had to report up the chain. I knew that anecdotally, the products I were using were giving me value kind of at an operational level. But what tools did that give you to speak to your management and all the way up to the CFO level to be able to talk to what the value was on the whole current value you were getting from the Trintech software?
Well, I think we had buy-in from the whole executive team, including the CFO, but I think this again was just another thing to add on top of that to say, not only are the systems that we're using extremely helpful and providing a lot of value, but the partnership that you and I have developed, Trintech and Forum have developed, was paying dividends for us, both in manpower, saving time, saving money. We got rid of a software because of what we've been able to do with Frontier that saved us 10 grand a year. And then, like we said, from a risk and compliance standpoint, being really rock solid with all of that. So I think the executive team, they already bought in. They trusted what we were saying, but they saw the data then and could really, put numbers to it.
I know Forum's going through some transformational change right now in terms of the future. They're looking at kind of the next horizon. Where's Forum going 3 to 5 years from now? Maybe you can talk a little bit about how this has fit into your outlook as you kind of look to the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, Forum's a great institution with a lot of leaders who have been there for a long, long time, who are, naturally nearing retirement. Frontier gives us the opportunity from an accounting and finance standpoint where we can prepare ourselves a lot better for those transitions, having the automation, training our team on those types of things, opening our team up to, bigger and broader tasks outside of, highlighting things on a spreadsheet and data entry. I think that really provides an opportunity to make the bench very deep, not just, from the level below those who are retiring, but on downward, and really allow people to provide more value to the credit union as a whole instead of, being a data person and not necessarily getting into some of the expense analysis and opening ourselves up time-wise to do more value-added things.
So I guess the last thought that I had was something that you actually mentioned in our session together when we were talking about ROI is, so you have a team of 5 or 6 people that work under you, right? So when do you go home? What is your close like? What is your night, what is the employee experience like now that you have almost 90+% of your balance sheet automated in Trintech software and kind of fully bought into using that as your primary reconciliation processes across the board?
Yeah, I mean, the whole staff goes home at 4:30 and they understand that my priority, Forum's priority especially, is that they be with their families at that time. They get to go to soccer games and pick their kids up from daycare and spend that time. I don't want people there doing, data entry or mundane tasks. I want to make us efficient, both for the sake of the credit union, but also for the sake of the employee. And what better way to build that culture by allowing them to have that flexibility? Now, don't get me wrong, like we still work hard when we're in the office, but I want them to be able to have the ability to turn that on and off. And I think that's really given us the opportunity to do it.
And that played really well into kind of the slogan, making time count, right?
It does. And I can speak for that for myself too. Like I'm a new dad, and it gives me the opportunity to do that also because I'm not reviewing spreadsheets day in and day out with reconciliations. Frontier does a lot of that for us, and the ability now that Trintech's giving us to layer on more solutions to help with controls and close and everything else is going to make, I think, our lives even easier and make us more efficient. And I think more accurate because, again, we're taking that human side out of it.
Well, it's been a great partnership.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.